Gotta give me something to smoke. Back to what I was saying, and I probably got, hell, I got 15 minutes left. Um, so the content creation of videos that pertain to the globalists is extremely disgusting and aggravating. At the end of the day, you're talking about the people who want to destroy the world, and they already have mechanisms in place trying to prevent you from talking about them. And those mechanisms involve human beings that, in the process of their human being preventing you from talking about them, they're screwing themselves. That's the craziest thing about the whole New World Order globalist movement. It's like y'all got people that's bought into the destruction, and they bought into their own family self-destruction. I mean, it's insane. That's like me saying, "Hey, bro, Ray came and knocked on your front door today, and you know Ray a serial killer, like for real. He King Von type serial killer, but Ray need a pistol. I told him you had guns in the house, dog. So I done told the serial killer that you got guns in your house. Then I make it go even further. I hand the serial killer a gun. Am I surprised when he come back and shoot up everybody in the house? No. But that's what they doing. They handing a gun to the serial killer that's gonna shoot up everybody in their house. And you see it when you look at the content that's out there. When you look at the World Economic Forum videos, you look at the audiences, and you look at the TED Talks, and you look at the audience, and you see these people, some of them lizards, not all of them is humans, some of them is seed of the serpents, but then there's human beings mixed in there. And them people, bro, you just handing over a weapon that's going to be used against you and your family. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. It truly, truly is. I mean, it really, really is. And when the more you dig into it and the deeper you go into it, you see um, how many people are being used to build a system that's going to oppress them, but they're aware of the system that they're building. 6 likes, guys, 44 people in the chat. Hit the like button. They're aware of the system. And maybe some of it is compartmentalized. This guy over here don't know what this guy over here doing. But if little old me and you can sit here and look at the system and say, oh man, this is going to be terrible. And these people who are part of it don't have enough sense to say, hold on, man, they're going to use this against me. And I think that's the most disturbing thing about this roadside stop that we're on. About to hit somebody and fuck up your car, man. What's wrong with you? This roadside stop that we're on, this pit stop. The most disturbing thing about this pit stop is the other people who come in an agreement with the foolishness. Because the system doesn't work unless these people are bought into it. And they got the hook in their jaw, like under the bone. It ain't in their lip, the hook is in their jaw, wrapped around on under the bone. And they just getting pulled left, right, pulled left, right. You know what I'm saying? It's actually pretty dang going crazy. It's pretty dang going crazy. I got another nice YouTuber for Spiritual Warfare Weekend today. And I'm going to go ahead and give some real small guys a shot. I'm talking about guys who got good content, but they got like 500 subscribers. They've been struggling. Probably get 5 or 6 of those guys a shot on that weekend as well. So we can discuss some things. I'm excited about one of them where we're going to be talking about spiritual warfare and pop culture. Like, for example, Justin Bieber came out just recently on stage and started talking about all the pain and all he wanted was Jesus. The Celtics coach is one hell of a fearless Christian man. And so we're gonna be diving into pop culture and how the warfare plays out in pop culture as well. That's gonna be very interesting because that's part of the conversation that people never really have. We talk about some of it where they'll be like, "Oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce are witches," right? And so you see that prosperity from the side of darkness, but you never really see the prosperity on the side of light and how God prospers his people who believe in him. We see how Satan prospers his people because part of the marketing campaign for that kingdom is, when you talk about a Beyonce or Jay-Z, at the end of the day, they super wealthy and rich. And for people like me and you, we like, yeah, they wicked people. But other people are like, no, that's Beyonce. She rich, girl. She got this. I don't care that she cast spells on the audience. You see what I'm saying? And so the juxtaposition is really not displayed the way it should be. Because sometimes exposing takes precedent over the juxtaposition. You know what I'm saying? What up, Beard? What's up, homie? Hey, man, I was going to try and hit you up last night and get in that DMZ. And I got on and I realized I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no vest. I didn't have none of my weapons because I got whacked last time I was in that DMZ. So I'm going to probably roll with y'all on Sunday when you do the Sunday stream. I'm going to hop in there with you, Bill. Get in and get it in. Guys, if you happen to be a person that like to play, you doing it tonight? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight, bro. I got to do some Bible study stuff for the night. I could definitely do it Sunday night. I know y'all do it on Sunday night. Sound good to me. And I've been playing solo, man. Because when you play with a team of people, they're crazy. They get to hunting people, getting murdered, and taken out. Sunday, let's do it Sunday. So what I was saying, guys, is there needs to be a juxtaposition between the rich and famous evil people, and some of the people who are actually successful that believe in God, man. I mean, there needs to be a juxtaposition. So we're going to hit on that. Pastor Tim going to hit back on dream warfare and things like people having trouble when they sleep. I went out to dinner with some friends for a birthday party, and one of them was saying that he had sleep paralysis. And the first time he mentioned it to me, I kind of tried to get into it with him and talk to him about it, and he didn't want to hear it. So, my thing is, if you don't want to hear it, I'm not going to tell you nothing about it. So he starts talking about it again. He says, I was sleeping, man, and it's like I can't move, and my eyes are open, but I'm hearing voices and this and this. And so I just remain quiet. Everybody talking to everybody, come to me. He said, what you think? I said, are you prepared to hear what I think? I said, you want to hear the truth or you want to hear a lie? Well, I want to hear the truth. Lay it on him. Boom, 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 boom. This is what you need to do. And he said, well, I never thought about it that way. Said, well, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You experiencing demonic oppression in your sleep. And that's what you need to do about it. So we're going to hit on that for sure. I just finished texting with old Vicky Joy. I want to know that Vicky Joy. She's on board. I think I'm going to have Tom Dunn. I'm going to have a lot of people when it's all said and done. That's all I can tell you. I'm going to have a lot of people. I'm going to have a whole lot of people. That's going to heat it up and talk about it. And I had a couple of guys that's like into the SRA. I'm not really with. I can't really hold conversation about SRA, man. I just can't do it. That's just not up my alley. If you think I struggle with globalism and globalists, man, we get into that kind of stuff, bro. I'm just not cut from that cloth. Like, I'm not. I remember when I watched Sound of Freedom, I almost lost my mind in the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? Almost lost my mind in a movie theater. Lust is one of the spirits that can give you sleep paralysis. But there's a thing in the Bible called the terror that cometh by night. And it defines terror. There's a lot of reasons why something can have access to your sleep, not just lust. Don't make that mistake of thinking the only reason why you got sleep paralysis is because of lust. It's a legal right that's given unto that thing to touch your body that you need to go deal with and revoke those rights. 33 people. 62 people, 33 likes. Let's get it up to 60, man. Make it happen. I got Money Mayweather in the building. So, I'm gonna go up in here and finish doing this and make it happen. But I think I'm gonna take tomorrow. I'm not gonna be talking about the New World Order. I think I'm gonna take a break. The issue is when it comes to creepy and paranormal, there's nothing that really interests me. Lake Lanier is cool because it gives me a target to hit. The Denver airport thing, which I don't know if I told y'all earlier, I figured out how we're gonna approach the Denver airport. We're gonna approach it just the same way that you guys talked about, through a Facebook group and try and get in contact with them. You know what I'm saying? And try and get in contact with the employees. Somebody said, "Bro, what you say real?" Thank you, Blazing Bird. I don't understand what that means. So we're gonna go after the Denver airport. That one's gonna be a little bit more difficult. I did get a notification that the postcards for Lake Lanier are on their way. I got a notification that they're literally on their way right now. And so I'm excited about that. Somebody says, because a lot of your videos don't look real. And you define real because it's subjective. For example, I could post a photo of a real dog man, but to you, because you don't know what you should have left from there, bro. It'd have been cool. Because you don't know what you're talking about, you may say it's not real. But to be clear, it's not my job to curate videos as if they're real or not. It's up to you to decide what's real. When it comes to videos, I'm not taking a burden upon myself to tell you this is real or not. It's a fool's errand. There's always going to be people who have, I don't think it's real. Good, don't think it's real. No, I'm telling you because you don't know. That's why I'm explaining it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm explaining it to you. I explain to you why I take that approach. Because I gave some of the realest content you could ever want. Vetted stories, live video feeds, everything. And guess what? Stuff that you couldn't see was a hoax, and everybody professed it was a hoax because they didn't like the source that they got it from. So the lesson that you learn from the situation is you decide what's real. I'll tell you something that is real. The paranormal content that's circling around on YouTube and TikTok now is some of the same stuff that was circling around 2 years ago and 3 years ago. That's real. You know what I'm saying? That is 100% real. So, Denver Airport. We'll target that and see what's up. But Lake Lanier, I think, is going to be a smash hit. You know what I'm saying? I think Lake Lanier is going to be a smash hit. Denver Airport might be hit and miss because we need employees. Unless y'all know somebody that work at the Denver Airport. You know what I'm saying? If you know somebody that knows somebody, then we got to end. One of y'all may know somebody who got a family member that work at the tarmac or on the tarmac at the Denver Airport. That'll be awesome. You know what I'm saying? I love reading people's body language. You can tell she talking to either her You see a ring finger? She's talking to her husband. That big smile on her face. So it's one of them plays. You know what I'm saying? You went through all that to tell me I'm a liar? Okay. Now y'all gonna ban him. Um, so let's make it happen on those two things. Let's make it pop off on those two things. That's gonna be awesome. But when it comes to the supernatural, paranormal, cryptid stuff, there's nothing that really interests me that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing, because it's all kind of been vetted out. At least in my mind. For example, skinwalkers. Everybody attribute skinwalker to Native American Navajo legends. When you go and do the research on skinwalkers and you talk to Native Americans, then you go over to talk to Africans, you find out that there's versions of the same thing. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the rituals are the same. But the term skinwalker is marketable, so the term gets prominence and it gets notoriety. But when you get to the base of the matter, pretty much the same thing. Little people, which are basically fallen angels. Real, plenty of stories about them. But when you start messing with them, they come mess with you. Demons, we know they real. That was one that was in the chat just now. I went through all that trouble trying to call somebody a liar. Um, let's see. Check Dogman, check Bigfoot, Rake, just a humanoid being that comes from underground. Definitely real. Fallen angels, UFOs, all that stuff. Just, I want to say this. Now I'm thinking about it. You guys do realize, because the last interview I did, we talked about the UFO report. You guys do realize that report was one of the most significant things for the paranormal community and cryptid community in general. The UFO Harvard report was one of the most significant things. And I went to go see if anybody in the known community was covering it. Nobody really touched on it. That was one of the most significant things for validity of everything that everybody talked about. And I'm going to tell you the lesson that you learned from the fact that it really wasn't covered in depth. The lesson that you learn is a lot of the content creators, it's not about actually getting to the bottom of the issue and getting to the truth. It's about them. Because if you're about truth, you got to cover that. You got to dig into that. Because it's significant for the entire field. So I'm going to lay that out for you guys so you understand. You have to touch on that. You don't have a choice but to touch on it. If you're a dude, you're going to be all right. Don't bring your wife in there with no big legs, no French bread, brother. You'll be all right. The breeding season is coming to an end. The female Bigfoot's not horny like they was at the beginning of the breeding season. They ain't going to take you and drag you into a tree and do something nasty to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the simple fact that you don't see that report being like people not deep diving into it, man, you gotta read between the lines. That ain't what interests them. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what interests them. By the way, again, YouTube, smoke break. I'm smoking a cigar. It's my cigar. I'm a grown man. If you got an issue with this, I want you to make some clarification on your rules. And you just look across the board. See anybody else that's smoking? I'm not promoting, we're just smoking. So, yeah, it's that was something that just blew my mind. I went to go look and see. I really did go look to see who was covering it. But it was extremely significant. It was extremely significant. Nobody hit on it, which I thought was just crazy. Land Rover Defender. That's a $180,000 vehicle. Especially that version of it. Pimped out like that. Yep. I'm thinking for spiritual warfare weekend, I'm going to hit on one section of what we've covered in the Men of Steel prayer group that I think is very important. We call it the prayer equation in the Bible study group. I think I am going to hit that because I think that's important for people to understand, especially for people who deal with stuff like sleep paralysis and all the rest of these things. It's really called the faith equation. I think we're going to hit on that. I might just take a snippet of the lessons that we have recorded. Do I have them recorded? I'm pretty sure I got them recorded somewhere. And we might and put that out. What do you think, Money Mayweather? I think that's a good thing to put out. Money Mayweather been there. I think that'll show people. I think it's the fastest way to show people how to truly read scripture. Yeah, A plus B plus C equals D. And when you understand, for example, watch this. I'll just do this live. Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That would be A. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's a declaration. Plus, equals. He maketh me to lie in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. If the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want. And this is what he will do. He will make you lay down in green pastures. He leadeth you beside still waters. The rest leads you on the path of righteousness. And so when you understand it, A plus B equals C, then you understand if you declare that the Lord is your shepherd, then this is what it means. So the Lord is my shepherd means I shall not want. He'll make me lie in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. You see what I'm saying? And when you look at it from that standpoint, then when you pray, you know what you're praying. So you worried about sleep at night. But if I know that based on that equation, all the rest of these things come into place, then I know if I decree and declare the Lord is my shepherd, then these things happen. So part of that psalm says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. So you're like, okay, as a shepherd, these are all the things that comes along with the Lord being your shepherd. So when you pray at night and you say, Lord, you're my shepherd, you understand what it means to say the Lord is your shepherd. And you have an expectation of what it means. So you expect that you shall not fear. Your expectation is that, he has a rod and a staff and that he protects you. You have these expectations. And that's part of the faith equation. Because faith is expecting. But you really don't know what to expect if you don't understand it. So how can you actually obtain these things if you don't really understand what the scripture is saying to you? So we're going to hit on that in that one part of the men's Bible study. We're gonna dip into that. And I'll show a couple of examples of it. And it's probably the most powerful thing. The faith equation is so powerful that once you see it and you understand it, then when you open the Bible and you start reading, now you're searching for things to solve problems in your life, as opposed to just sitting there reading scripture. Of course, he gonna call right now. Hopefully that went well for him. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I say, if you're looking for it, join the ministry. Strongmenpraying.com. Strongmenpraying.com. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't gonna lie. They got a lot of these African migrant dudes around here. Like, for real. And they're everywhere out here in these streets. Like, I went to go get gas, and drive by this little apartment complex, and this dude's just sitting out there, no shoes on, just sitting out there on the wall, no shoes on. You can tell they got a brand new cell phone, just kicking their feet against the wall. I'm like, bro, you ain't from around here. You don't do stuff like that around here. No, that's not how we rock. Culturally, that's not what we do. You don't hang out like that, not looking like that. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because they can't be jammed into the neighborhoods because the neighborhoods reject it. So they jammed into downtown. This is crazy. You jamming them folks into your tourist spots. Imagine you and your wife walking down the street and y'all going to get, what time is it, 4, 5 o'clock? Y'all going to get an early dinner, and the dude just sitting on the wall barefooted. Well, actually, it was 3 dudes sitting on the wall barefooted, kicking their feet with their cell phone in their hand. You're like, what the hell is this? And then when you hear them talk, they clearly, it's from somewhere in Africa. It's crazy, man. You must have got a Social Security to be up. If you say so. If you say so. I'm not about to have that argument with you. If you think they got Social Security numbers to get here, go for it. I tell you what, go in your city, go walk up to a bunch of them and ask them. Make sure you got a pistol on them. In case they try to make you empty out your pockets. Make sure you got something on you. But I can tell you what I know what I'm talking about. Because there was a time period where, should I say that? There was a time period where there was federal dollars that came through my city to build housing for them. And this was the game. The game was you buy a 5-bedroom house. And it was, you could put 2 people to a room. And it was, I want to say it was like $1,800 per month per person you put in that house. So you got 10 people in that house. Times 1,800. You see what I'm saying? And the finance was a sure shot because you had a contract going into the financing. So you walk into the bank and say, hey, I need to buy this house. Well, how are you going to service the debt? Here's the contract. This is what's going to happen. So the contract was the collateral. But I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a little YouTuber. I don't know why I never did that in my life. So I'm just saying, go holler at them and see. I ain't trying to argue with you. I'm just telling you like it is. Money way was I had Wes reach out to homie just anyway, even though I know he gonna act funny. But I had Wes reach out to him anyway. We'll talk about that when we get on. I'll call you. That's that idols become your rivals type thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no black folks that's moving to Africa. They might be visiting, trying to go restore their heritage, because everybody think they're a king and a queen. But I don't really know nobody that's doing. I know a lot of people that visit. All right, guys, I'm gonna go back in here and get to work. Y'all got suggestions on anything to cover other than these dirt bags? You know what I'm saying? Because they're just dirt bags, flea bags. What those people are. Disgusting human beings, vile pieces of garbage. I never really went too much deeper on the Denver airport. I think I'm gonna go back and go through Reddit and go through some stuff on the Denver airport. The Earth, if it's flat. I am not messing with them flat Earth people, man. I'm sorry. It's a good suggestion. But bro, I ain't trying to be bothered with a man. When you talk about cults on YouTube, that cult there is disgusting. I'm sorry. Like, I did one short. I don't know how it got into the flat earthers cult, but every comment was, yeah, if only you knew the earth was flat. If only you knew this. I'm like, bro, shut up. Get off of here. I couldn't wait for that short's reach to die down because it was all based on one short. I mean, they got on my damn nerves. It takes a lot for comments to get on my nerves because I normally giggle and laugh at them. But they got on my nerves. I was like, oh my Lord. Like, I don't feel like talking about Sleepy Joe. What we can do to protect ourselves from the spiritual war. That's going to be spiritual warfare weekend. Trust me, we're going to hit that hard. That's next weekend. You're going to love that. If that's what you're looking for, you're going to absolutely love that information. Because my goal for that weekend is to arm you, to educate you, and then to show you how you can find and spot. Really, dog? I don't even understand why that was necessary for you to put that big old truck in there like that. How you can spot things that will that'll bolster your faith. See, that's one of the things that ends up happening when you see the wickedness and darkness everywhere. It's like, for example, like remember Ryan Garcia came out. Ryan was like, "I believe in Jesus," bada bing, bada boom. And then Ryan Garcia goes crazy, right? But there's plenty of things in culture that are happening that you can rejoice about. I'll give you another one. The dude that was heavyweight champ, he was fighting the guy that called himself the Brown Bomber. I don't really watch much boxing because I feel like these boxers are girls compared to the old school Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, all them real hardcore fighters. But if you go watch that interview, there's face-off interview where they're sitting down. One of them is clearly demonically possessed. And he starts to chant and sing and worship in front of the other one. He's like, there's only one Brown Bomber. There's only one round bomber. And so he's literally summoning that spirit for courage in that moment. And then you see the battle ensue. The other guy's like, I can see that. I can see it in you. And he's like, I have Jesus. I'm not worried about you. Those are the kind of things that are happening all over the place, but nobody really highlights them. I believe that one was highlighted back then for sure. I don't doubt that it was. But those are the kind of things that are playing out everywhere. Man, just park that trailer right there instead of just riding around in circles and parking in all the parking spots. What's wrong with you? There was a soccer game recently where the whole soccer stadium prayed before the game. It wasn't aired on TV. You have to go back and watch the footage to see it. But those are the kind of things that are going on. But if you don't see it playing out, then you're like, oh man, the world's coming to an end. Everything is so wicked. These wicked people are winning. But you got to see both sides of the coin. Like people talk about spiritual warfare, not realizing that it's two sides fighting. And then not even realizing what spiritual warfare really means. I mean, and why the warfare is like it's what it is. Like literally. For example, people say, well, DW, it seems like there's an increase of evil on the planet. Yes, rejoice. Well, why would I rejoice? Because that means Jesus is coming down through the second heaven and pushing them down this way. What? Go read it. It's in your Bible. It's in there. But the warfare is a pincer attack. Him pushing down and his children. Him pushing down and his children supposed to be here praying, standing in dominion, and fighting upwards. So it's supposed to be darkness is trapped in the middle and getting compressed like this. But when in this realm, when people don't pray, when people don't understand warfare, it just pushes further and further down and becomes more stronger. That's one of the things that we talk about in the Men of Steel. Correct. We're going to be doing stuff on monitoring spirits. I think that's something everybody needs to know about for Spiritual Warfare Weekend. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I am talking about Spiritual Warfare Weekend at this point in time, which is next weekend. So it's a lot we're going to be chopping it up about. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot we're going to be chopping it up about. And there'll be a couple of round tables. There's a guy that's in the cryptid community that I do want to get. I don't know if he's going to do it because he's a part of the Bigfoot community in the cryptid community, and they real funny acting. They're bullied by like some of the smallest channels there are. You know what I'm saying? It's like that whole thing is ridiculous. But I really want to get him on to talk about his encounters in the woods with monsters and rebuking them in the name of Jesus Christ and the crazy stuff that happened when he did it. There's actually two of them. But the problem is, the problem really boils down to because those gentlemen don't understand analytics, they don't understand YouTube, they don't understand it from a business aspect, they can be bullied. But we're not going to listen to you if you talk to him. And so they can be bullied because they feel like that small section of audience, which in many cases is 30, 40 people, has that kind of sway over them, not realizing that YouTube gets 4 billion views a day. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't understand that you should be able to access a pool of 4 billion views per day, then you can be held in control and swayed by a single group of people. But if you understand, 4 billion views per 24 hours is what funnels through this platform. Then you sit there and say, okay, listen, the problem is I'm too small. And you fix the problem. And then your audience grows, and then those voices have less sway. And so I don't know if he's gonna do it. I would love him to. Cool dude, awesome guy, got a lot of knowledge. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. All right, let me hop out of here. Appreciate you guys. I'm rolling. Disrespect was banned from Twitch. I heard they had something bad happen with Dr. Disrespect, but I don't know what it actually was. Something about he was messing with somebody, messaging somebody underage or whatever. Um, but fame will make you do strange things, man. Fame will go to your head. Peace out. Fame will destroy you. Just that much fame and popularity destroying people right now.